you have this extraordinary woman who 31 was entirely too young for her to die. 99 would be entirely too young for her to die. And that power of who she was just continues and lives on.
This is so exciting. I'm going live on Facebook. I've never done this before. Hello.
And you're doing like you're doing a little inside. Exactly.
Hi, Facebook Live. For Henrietta Lacks. Black Girl Magic. Courtney Vance.
And Courtney Vance.
Featuring Courtney Vance.
Honorary black girl, Courtney
Hello.
Vance.
All right. Honorary Black Girl Magic. Courtney Vance. Hello. How are you?
I'm very fine.
Very nice.
All right. Very good. All right. Let's continue with your questions, ladies.
I'll say it because I love that. I feel like, you know, stepping into her body, stepping into the reality that, you know, we see this woman who knows something's wrong with her, and she doesn't live. I mean, that's scary right now. As a mother, right now, the idea that something, I mean, we're always like, what was that? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The idea that something's wrong with me always scares me when I have little children. I mean, there's nothing more frightening. And there's this scene where she walks into Johns Hopkins Hospital in front of the largest white Jesus you could ever see. You know what I mean?
That is a big
You know what
white
I mean?
Jesus.
It doesn't take a tremendous amount of, you know, kind of acting prowess to experience
Hi,
how
Rose.
small that would make you feel. And I love the bravery with which she does that. I love the bravery with which she moves through the biggest nightmare anyone can imagine. And that, I think, informs me about the bravery that my grandmother must have had. And, you know, that's what inspires me. That's what I want all of us to take from this. It's like, you know, is to embrace the idea that these women were powerful, not victims.
Yeah, precisely.
They're powerful.
And looked good doing it.
And we're talking about a world that predated web.com, or where you could self-diagnose or go on the internet and get a sense of what, you know, when a person in a uniform or a person in a white coat said to you, that was law. It was gospel. If a doctor told you you were sick, or a doctor said you needed this treatment, you accepted, because that person in the white coat was God. I mean, so that was the era that you lived in as well. So as far as the movie deals with not only the treatment of Henrietta, but of her sister and the mental institutions, but this was an era that you lived in. When somebody in a white coat told you something, it was law, it was gospel. So the fact that this was buried for so long, it's astonishing, but it makes sense to me as well, because you didn't question what a doctor said. And so that was also a very important part of this storytelling.
I want to ask about the idea of having a white savior. I talked to Courtney a little bit about this morning, around the idea of, especially the parallel of now being in Black Lives Matter movement and people often wanting other voices to be a part of the movement as well, but then also protesting said voices when they jump up to be a part of it. So I just want to know, like, the parallel between that and having someone like you know, playing Rebecca Skloot, to come in and have to tell that story and then deal with their separate pains and blockages of being able to push that forward.
Well,
Yes. Yes, white savior. What would you like to say?
You told me to be nice to the white girl. Be nice to the white girl.
Just start easy, right? George Wolfe?
You say,
Come
I'm
on.
white, I'm Australian.
Exactly. I want everybody to know that, just to let you know. But you know, what's unique about this story, I think, is that it's from the perspective of a young, naive white girl who's very naive. She's 27 at the time when she embarks on this story. She's from Portland, Oregon. Okay, like, she's got no experience with the African American culture, admittedly, if you talk to Rebecca. And then from an African American woman, an older African American woman, that on this very unusual experience they have together. And the question of the white savior was something we discussed day one, you know, and it's complicated and complex, and it's something that I really leaned on George and Oprah for, because it's not, look, we wouldn't probably, Rebecca wrote the book. She got it. It was her doggedness and determination and her obsession with it that is one of the reasons we're here. One of the reasons, but it's a complicated thing, and I very much leaned on these guys to understand, to navigate delicately, and it's still complicated, So.
But also I think it's like nobody's waiting. I mean, there's something that happens when Rebecca. Okay, the camera. There's something that happens.
There's something that happens.
There's something that happens when Rebecca meets a tornado that is Deborah Lacks, and
that would be me.
Yes, and despite all the things that has happened to Deborah, she does not view herself as a victim, nor is she without power, nor is she without agency. What she doesn't have is access. Mm-hmm. And also when she says at one point in the movie, she says, so keep on being so you keep on being white.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to me, it was very important to me that, it's very important that it's not an imitation of life. It's like, I don't want any of that money. I just want the biggest funeral Harlem's ever seen.
Yes.
I'm using that line from that movie. You just go like, oh, really? Go for the money. You can buy your own funeral, And it's like, not a good decision. So, you could buy a church with that pancake recipe. You know what I mean? and so to me, I think they went on a journey together. And one of the things that I thought was very interesting is that Deborah, the whole family is, but Deborah is testing her. She says, come on, let's go hang out with Zachariah.
Yes.
And if you can survive,
Zachariah.
and that will be that.
Wasn't Reg Kathy great? Yay.
So she's testing her. There's not, hi, you're white, so therefore I trust you like the white code.
Right.
It's like, let me go send you to the family.
Yeah.
Let the family torture you for a little bit to see if you can survive that. You survive that, then let me torture you for a little bit. Then let Zachariah torture you. Yeah. So it was a series of obstacles that she has to get back. And also, Deborah also has this sense of, and sometimes I have a little anxiety that might erupt. And therefore, the trust that I have for you today might not be there tomorrow. Exactly. So to me, I think it's a much more mercurial, complicated, and hopefully on some level dangerous relationship. Okay.
Courtney Vance is speaking.
I just want to remind everyone that we have 20 minutes. and in that, I would like to just gently say, Oprah.
Yeah.
That I love the fact that it was a white girl who brought us to this wonderful
Australian.
To our
Australian.
We couldn't do it somehow ourselves, and it really speaks to me how much we need each other. It's instead of going, why did a white person have to do this, tell us? It's like, no, when we're children, all the children play together. They don't separate and segregate themselves. Until they learn that black people over here, the Muslim people over here, learn behavior. We just to see the movie, to see these two women come together, and was it your uncle that when you put the hand of Jesus on?
That was my cousin.
That's what I said. Your cousin. Yeah. You didn't hear me right.
It was my cousin. It's cousin Cooney over there.
Your cousin, but I mean that brought you back to that place where we're all one, and that's what we're trying to get to. And I'm done.
Okay, we only.